He wants to alter the course of humanity. If you had that power, what would you do?
Let's just welcome together for the first time in the Middle East both Mr. Jason, narrative director for Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and also lead game designer Heath. So these two guys are coming all the way to the Middle East for the first time to talk about Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which we cannot wait to play this game. So first question, guys, to ask you. We all know that this game is going to be like the end of a trilogy. You could say the first trilogy for Larcraft. And you know, from the time I played the demo, and I felt like this is the game exactly I wanted to be the next gen for Larcraft. And it felt the first one and the second one, both of them were like, kind of new Larcraft to me. But this is the Larcraft I want to kind of, continue my previous games with. So what took you so long to reach this level?
Well, from the conception of Tomb Raider 2013, we wanted to do a 3-game reboot of Lara becoming Tomb Raider, right? So that what your sentence is perfect. This is exactly the feeling we wanted to do, because the question is, how did Lara in this reboot become Tomb Raider? So you get to Tomb Raider 2013, she's not Tomb Raider yet, right? It's Lara, and she's in a bad situation, she's surviving, and she's trying to improvise and get out of a bad situation. She doesn't believe in myths, she doesn't believe in any of these things, and we see this reactive person. Now, throughout all this evolution coming to this game, we see a more proactive, someone reaching out in Rise of the Tomb Raider, exploring, and realizing that, hey, I have to prove that my father was right, and myths are real, and realizing, you know what, it's better to have good character than to get proof. I'm going to destroy the source, because Trinity, I can't let them have that. I need to stop this ritual and do this. And we get here now in Shadow of the Tomb Raider, we have a fully formed, all the skills of the Tomb Raider, and now she's on a mission to try and hunt and stop Trinity. So I'm happy you have this feeling. This is by design.
Awesome, and I'm so happy to finally reach that kind of moment where I feel like this is the Larcraft I know. That leads me to the second question, will be directed to the lead game designer. When I was playing the game, it felt like with the motion, with the camera, this is the classic Larcraft I'm playing with. It's not like it's a little bit far, the camera, I could say, and the movement when she was moving around. Did you just also wanted to do something with the gameplay where you can also feel like this is kind of a classic returning back, or this is the Larcraft you always kind of knew?
It's very intentional to, for all her new abilities, really, because she's becoming the Tomb Raider, right? And we look back, what is missing from her skill set? What in the trilogy has she not done yet? And that's underwater exploration. Right. So all this and when in her animation, we do it to make it look like she's professional, right? Because she's heading towards being a professional, not someone who's just, oh, I was shipwrecked on an island and I found some water and I have to swim and survive. This is right? And even physically, when you look at her, she's built up her upper body strength because she needs to do rappelling and wall running and all these acrobatic athletic moves that we took inspiration from classic Tomb Raider. So if you listen in the first game, it's a lot harder for her because she's never done these things before. So she's like, very hard. And now she's like, determined and professional. But it's not just with the traversal, it's in all aspects of the game. We really look at how do we represent someone who is more professional, and that is about, like Jason says, being proactive rather than reactive.
Okay. All right. Now, why is it always you're trying to portray her as a very dark character with all these shadows, and the title itself tells that there are more dark in the game? Why?
Well, I mean, this is also part of the natural arc of the reboot. So, if you have someone's proactive like this, she's rebelling, she's a child in the first one. I want to prove Dad is wrong, right? Okay. So she goes out, I'm going to prove it because he committed suicide, and I'm going to prove that everything he believed in is wrong, which is a very young,
angry, yeah.
It's angry trying to rebel, right? At the end, she realized she was wrong. Her father was right, and she's like, oh, this changes her perception of herself, right? Oh, my father maybe was right. So now she's like, okay, I want to redeem my family now. So she has a new mission. because it's all about her trying to fix herself. But at the end of Rise of the Tomb Raider, after the credits, she's talking with Anna, right? And Anna's like, I never told you the truth about your father. You're like, what? What is this? And, you know, Trinity orders his execution. You're like, what? I never told you.
Spoilers, guys. You know, if you haven't
played Rise of the Tomb Raider, I'm sorry, spoiler. But she finds out this information. So imagine you're Lara. Imagine this situation where you thought your father killed himself. So you think it's a shame, and now you say, oh my God, it's an injustice. This someone was killed because of why, and she doesn't know why. So the darkness is coming from she's becoming so capable, so competent, but she has pain that she's kind of denying a little bit. She says, I'm okay. And she wants to say, okay, I'm going to do the right thing, which is stop Trinity. But to stop Trinity, which is an organization around the world, she needs to understand them. So it's not a revenge story, it's a detective story. She needs to understand and search for the truth. But she's impatient. She's pushing so hard that she's causing bad things to happen. And we want to subvert the expectation of the player to think, okay, it's Tomb Raider, get to the relic first, I win. So you do that, and you think, I did it. But then you feel something that video games does very well at making you feel. You can feel responsibility and guilt because you're like, I didn't know what was happening. Exactly. So when you get it to with Dr. Dominguez and he says, where is the silver box of Ishel? Give it to me. One of my favorite performances that Lara gives, she's like, oh, it's in a safe place. She's obviously lying, and what we're exposing now is her great weakness. She's someone who wants to know everything, but you can't know everything. Right. So he is exposing that she's solving a puzzle she thinks is this big, and he says the puzzle is much bigger. And he goes, it falls to me now to fix this. So the darkness is that it's her not understanding, not having all the context, and then going out and causing bad things to happen, and then feeling responsibility, and then correcting that mistake.
Wow, wow. This is a very, like, you know, it's almost a new old Lara Croft to me. You know, you brought her back, but at the same time in a new kind of
we
way.
always need to move forward, but we always need to look back for inspiration because tastes change, things change, the technology is different, and we need to do the best we can do today with the best of the past and the best of the future.
Exactly.
What it's fascinating about Shadow of the Tomb Raider as well is, you know, for so long in the first two games she's alone, so it's something where she's never really relied on other people, you know, and this is something she needs to learn as well, that when you only go within yourself and trust, and this was where you can also go to a dark place, but it's other people that can lift you out of that place. And this is why we have a big social experience in this game where you need to talk to people, because this is something she also needs to learn as well.
Amazing. Yeah. Looking forward to that. Now, my last question, and since we spoke about the Lara being, like, you know, surrounded with people, and what we've seen with from the trailers, you know, we can see she's going to markets, meeting people around her. Like, when I played even the demo itself, you know, when I started, it was like in a celebration, kind of, you know, Mexican celebration or something, or a small marketplace or something like that. These elements, why we have brought them, like, you know, in the game, and what purpose we can take from. Well, like, especially when you're talking about the game, we always play for action puzzles, but now we have the community and markets, and we can interact, etc., etc.
Yeah, I mean, there's gameplay reasons and there's narrative reasons, so I can give you the gameplay reasons and I'll pass the microphone. But for gameplay reasons, the fundamental reason is to create a tension for the player between short-term and long-term gameplay. So, you know, when you play a good game, it always gives you a choice, what we call risk and reward, right? So low risk is, I have this material that I gather or I hunt, and I want to use it straight away, and I'm going to make a cool arrow, or I'm going to make a cool recipe,
or heal myself,
and then, but if I take a risk, right, and I don't use it, and maybe the combat is harder for me because I didn't use it, but the reward I get is now I can save those materials and spend it and buy something even cooler, right? That's going to make life easier in the long term. It also promotes what we call retraversal, which is something where we want to again bring a little bit of that classic globe-trotting Lara Croft feeling back, where she would travel around around the different places. So in this game, even more for the series, you will travel around because each location you go to in Peru primarily, but each location has unique things in those shops, right? So you need to travel around and think, oh, I remember they had a cool outfit or weapon or something like this. So it creates the feeling of a larger, more interconnected world. Narratively, though, I think is really interesting reasons to have merchants.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I mean, one of the things that, in this case, we came up with the phrasing of this pretty late, because you know, when you're doing the design, you have, all right, some will give you stealth benefits, some will give you combat, some will give you exploration. That all makes sense, but it's not making me dream as a narrative person. So we came up with the idea of a vestige, as if the clothing is a relic. It's almost destroyed, and Lara can, through collecting resources, restore it. I didn't want to use the verb craft. You know, everything's crafting, craft. It's very generic. You understand it when you say the mechanic is a crafting mechanic, but I wanted the wording to not be that. I wanted it to be a different verb that is going to show you that it's part of history. So all these costumes you get, they have a story associated with it. There's a person in the past who wore it, and you find out about what they did. So part of that is the exploration. It's all linking. So the shops and all these things, they link back to the world. And we have 3 hubs. Every hub is a different variation on tomb raiding. The first one that's in the demo here is tomb raiding as pillaging, when bad people come and they just take and leave, and what does that do to the society? PyTT is tomb raiding as anthropology, talking to people, learning from history and culture. And the final hub, which I can't say the name, but the final hub is tomb raiding as adventure. So it's bringing back a feeling of joy, of discovery, and all these things it's all these variations and creating that nice feeling. So that was fun for us to do that. And the shops, everything you can buy, and the costumes all feed into immersion in the world, and that's why we did that.
Amazing. Will we be able to kind of change the customs on the game, like, you know, our clothes, etc.?
Yes.
Yes, in an even bigger way than in Rise. So in Rise, yes, we had some costume, but it was mostly cosmetic. Sometimes it had an effect. This time it's really in depth. So you can change your top half and your bottom half separately, which means as a player, because each piece has unique gameplay effects based on your play style. You know, you can have effects that help you in assault, effects that help you in stealth, effects that help you in gathering and hunting. What you can do essentially is a mix and match. So if you want to play a mix and match of these playstyles, you can wear different outfit. They also have a social impact. So some outfit you have to wear certain outfits to be able to interact with certain people, because otherwise they won't trust you. Yeah. So it also has a social impact as well.
All right.
What are the plans for the post-release of the game? Will there be DLCs? Or
yes, we have announced 7 DLCs, one every month. And it's all challenge tombs. So every month is a new challenge tomb. Some of them will be co-op. You can play with a friend and solve puzzles together. And they have a little bit of story elements to an exploration, so more relics and things like that to collect.
Will we see Shadow of the Tomb Raider referencing other games, like other games from Square Enix, or other games like they did with Final Fantasy 15?
Right.
They add missions from Assassin's Creed and other games.
Right. I mean, the tone is so serious and dramatic with that. It would kind of break the immersion if we did something similar with Shadow of the Tomb Raider. So it's an isolated experience for Lara in there. So we didn't do any kind of crossover content like that.
Well, just wait. We will bring something.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
A traditional Omani sweet.
Oh, wow.
You should try it.
Yes.
Absolutely. This is the same as this one?
Yes.
Okay.
What is it called?
It's Omani Halwa.
Halwa.
Halwa translates directly to sweet.
Oh, well, good. Well, then, good. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Tell us what you think after you.
Yes,
Okay.
of course.
Make sure our reaction's on camera.
No pressure.
Oh, yeah.
It's very good.
It's really good. It's really good. Yeah.
What's in here? There's nuts? Do you know what?
Are you allowed to tell us what's inside, or is it a secret?
No, we should guess it.
Okay, I'm gonna guess.
Maybe some dates in here?
No.
No. I give up.
You didn't try very hard.
I'm not
Ginger?
Yes, you are right.
Yeah?
Ginger, yes.
What do I win? This. I know. Okay.
You
I'll
win the
keep
next
eating.
container.
Oh my God, there's more.
Yes, this is for you to take home with you.
Oh wow! What's happening? I'm scared. So we should not open this now, is what you're saying?
It's the same as this one.
Oh, it's the same. Okay, okay.
As in the best.
And you're filming it. I don't know what's going to happen.
No, it's just...
There's a snake going to come out or something. But
This is very good. Thank you so much.
thank you. It's awesome, beautiful, delicious.
Anyways, thank you so much, guys, for this wonderful.
Thank you.
And we're looking forward to play the game. We can't wait. This is the game, guys. Trust me, I've played the demo. It's so amazing. But let me thank both the narrative director and the lead game designer. Both of them are here for this interview. Thank you so much. See you around.
Thank you.